Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Kevin Richardson with another installment of A Chapter a Day to Keep the Devil at Bay, where I'll read a chapter of the Bible each day from three different versions of the Bible: the King James Version, the New International Version, as well as the New Living Translation. My intention is to not only increase my own knowledge of what it is written in the Bible, but also to impart upon you more knowledge of what is written in the Bible as well, if there's more to be gained from reading three different versions at one time. I feel like repetition is the best way to be able to remember things, and it's good to read the Bible every day, read a chapter of the Bible every day, as Melanie Mack of Bible Time with Melanie Mack here on YouTube. Go check out her channel. It's a really good channel. As she has advised, and as I listened to, and had quite the benefit of reading my Bible every day since then. Like, her advice was quite well put into play, and it has helped me out with a lot of things in my life. It helped me to deal with so much that is going on. And anyhow, enough about that. Go check out her channel. I am on chapter 16 of Genesis, and I'll start with the King James Version. It says, Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaiden, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid unto thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judged between me and thee. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt harshly with her, she fled from her face. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence camest thou, and whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. And she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou God seest me. For she said, Have I also looked after him that seeth me? Wherefore the well was called Bir Lahai Roi. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. And Hagar bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. And Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abram. And that's it for Genesis chapter 16 in the King James Version. Now on to the New International Version. And it reads as thus: Hagar and Ishmael. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children. But she had an Egyptian maidservant named Hagar, and she said to Abram, The Lord has kept me from having children. Go sleep with my maidservant. Perhaps I can build a family through her. Abram agreed to what Sarai said. So after Abram had been living in Canaan 10 years, Sarai, his wife, took her Egyptian maidservant Hagar and gave her to her husband to be his wife. He slept with Hagar, and she conceived. When she knew she was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress. Then Sarai said to Abram, You are responsible for the wrong I am suffering. I put my servant in your arms, and now that she knows she is pregnant, she despises me. May the Lord judge between you and me. The servant is in your hands, Abram said. Do with her whatever you think best. But Sarai mistreated Hagar, so she fled from her. The angel of the Lord found Hagar near a spring in the desert. It was a spring that is beside the road to Shur, and he said, Hagar, servant of Sarai, where have you come from, and where are you going? I'm running away from my mistress, Sarai, she answered. Then the angel of the Lord told her, Go back to your mistress and submit to her. The angel added, I will so increase your descendants that they will be too numerous to count. And the angel of the Lord also said to her, You are now with child, and you will have a son. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard of your misery. He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him. And he will live in hostility toward all of his brothers. She gave his name to the Lord who spoke to her. Or she gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her. You are the God who sees me. For she said, I have now seen the one who sees me. That is why the well was called Bir Lahai Roi. It is still there, between Kadesh and Bered. So Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram gave the name Ishmael to the son she had born. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael. That's it for Genesis chapter 16 in the New International Version. And next will be Genesis chapter 16 in the New Living Translation. Now Sarai, the title of it is The Birth of Ishmael, and this is how it reads. Genesis chapter 16. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had not been able to bear children for him, but she had an Egyptian servant named Hagar. So Sarai said to Abram, The Lord has prevented me from having children. Go and sleep with my servant. Perhaps I can have children through her. And Abram agreed with Sarai's proposal. So Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, the Egyptian servant, and gave her to Abram as a wife. This happened 10 years after Abram had settled in the land of Canaan. So Abram had sexual relations with Hagar, and she became pregnant. But when Hagar knew she was pregnant, she began to treat her mistress Sarai with contempt. Then Sarai said to Abram, This is all your fault. I put my servant into your arms, and now that she's pregnant, she treats me with contempt. The Lord will show who's wrong, you or me. Abram replied, Look, she's your servant, so deal with her as you see fit. Then Sarai treated Hagar so harshly that she finally ran away. The angel of the Lord found Hagar beside a spring of water in the wilderness along the road to Shur. The angel said to her, Hagar, Sarai's servant, where have you come from, and where are you going? I'm running away from my mistress, Sarai, she replied. The angel of the Lord said to her, Return to your mistress and submit to her authority. Then he added, I will give you more descendants than you can count. And the angel also said, You are now pregnant and will give birth to a son. You are to name him Ishmael, which means God hears. For the Lord has heard your cry of distress. This son of yours will be a wild man, as untamed as a wild donkey. He will raise his fist against everyone, and everyone will be against him. Yes, he will live in open hostility against all his relatives. Thereafter, Hagar used another name to refer to the Lord who had spoken to her. She said, You are the God who sees me. She also said, Have I truly seen the one who sees me? So that well was named Bir Lahai Roi, which means well of the living one who sees me. It can still be found between Kadesh and Bered. So Hagar gave Abram a son, and Abram named him Ishmael. Abram was 86 years old when Ishmael was born. And there you have it for chapter 16 of the New Living Translation. Just want to point out that the children of Abraham were Ishmael and Isaac. Isaac's descendants were the Hebrews, the Israelites. And the descendants of Ishmael or the Arabic peoples, the Muslims, the Islamic people. not everybody that's Islamic or Arab is necessarily a descendant of Ishmael, but it's still from off of Abraham's seed. They're part of the Abrahamic religions. And it's the reason why I feel that we shouldn't necessarily condemn those people, but we should do everything that we can to try to convert those people to Christianity so that they could be able to join us in accepting God's gift of Christ so that we might be saved, so that they can be saved as well, so that they can be able to have salvation that that God gave us through the sacrifice of his son, Jesus Christ. It was for everyone, anyone that believes. But as Christians, we should do everything we can to be able to try to be compassionate and to convert those people to God, to Christianity. We shouldn't just despise them or anything like that. As it says, we should pray for our enemies. They aren't necessarily our enemies. They are more our brothers, our neighbors. It says, love your neighbor, love your brother as yourself. So we want for ourselves to be able to have salvation, so we should love them enough to wish for them to have salvation as well. So we should do what we can as Christians to be able to show them the love that God has commanded us to show, and to pray for them, and to try our best to be able to convert them. Same goes with anybody else that's living in sin or living in a lack of faith or living in a lack of belief. We should do everything that we can to be able to try to convert them to Christianity, to share with them the word of God. And anyhow, here, hold on just 1 second. I need to do something. Sorry about it. My dog was wandering around looking like he needed to use the bathroom or something. So I had to let him out. Anyhow, I also wanted to mention, though, before I go, that we should try to save everyone. We should try to bring everyone that we can to the Word of God, because more people there are Christians that believe in God, that follow by the morals and everything that's in the Bible, the less there will be of people that will suffer at the hands of wickedness. We could save so many different children from having to suffer from such perversions and everything as is commonplace in this world today, just by being able to spread the word of God and the word of Christ. It can be able to increase people's conviction that they should do something for the children to be able to protect the children, more so if there are more people that stand more strongly and more solidly on their faith. I will be adding to my channel a series I'm going to be pulling directly from this book right here, which is called the System Bible Study. Hopefully I didn't get any trouble with anybody for doing so. But I was going through some different things that I had so far as my Christian books collection and stuff is concerned, my different hymnals and Bibles and stuff, and came across this right here. I don't even know where it came from, but this is the introduction to it. It says, the purpose of the System Bible Study is to give the most complete and most concise and most useful book of classified Bible studies, to condense, to simplify, to systematize, to give the foundation facts of all important biblical studies, to make the Bible self-interpreting, to meet the needs of scholars, ministers, teachers, students, Christian workers, and young people, to equip them with scriptural knowledge and spiritual power, to create, promote, and maintain an interest in the study of the Scriptures, to give an open door and immediate access to the great treasure house of biblical lore, to comprehend the accumulated biblical scholarship of the past, also valuable old Bible helps, revised, enlarged, and brought up to date, to which are added many new features of vital importance to eliminate the loss of time in research and in running concordance references, thus saving about 80% of time and gaining a corresponding amount of information. What does the Bible teach? This question has been the guide of all contributors to be accurate, broad, undenominational, thoroughly Protestant, and true to the Bible, has been the high aim in this epitome of the best modern Christian scholarship. Practically all Protestant bodies are represented on the editorial staff, the utmost care having been taken to give Protestant Christianity an indispensable work without bias, a contribution to the spirit of our day, unity as fellow workers in the great cause, as follows, of the one Lord and Master. Sources: the Library of Congress, Washington, D.C., one of the greatest libraries in the world, was the hub center of research for this work, having, however, been supplemented by some of the other foremost libraries of the world. Practically every book of standard Bible helps of the entire English-speaking world having been consulted. Grateful acknowledgement of our indebtedness to all is made here. It is felt that the public will deeply appreciate the privilege of this association with the biblical scholarship of the past, interwoven with the wide scholarship of a large number of outstanding men in our day of England, Scotland, and America. In giving the System Bible Study to the English-speaking race, it is the earnest prayer and hope of the compilers that it will do its part in simplifying and promoting the study and teaching of the Book of Books, that it will not only meet in large measure the needs of the earnest Bible scholar and the student, but will also receive the approval of the one to whose cause it is dedicated, the publishers of this book. I'm going to go through this and find different little Bible study things that they have in there, and I'm going to try to add at least one of those a week to the channel, so that I'll have at least one Bible study each week. I'm going to try for it to be done on Saturdays, as it seems appropriate to me that on Saturday, yeah, we do that. As Sunday is the Lord's Day, and which we go to church and all that. Saturday is the day where we should be praising Him as a little bit more than we do sometimes, it seems. But yeah, I'm not exactly a Seventh-day Adventist, but I do believe in respecting both the Sabbath and the Lord's Day. So it is what it is. I'm saying I hope that will be a nice addition to the channel, and that it might be able to help to bring in more people to possibly receive the Word of God, so that they could be able to be saved, and that they could be able to share it with other people, so that they could be able to be saved as well. If anyone has any kind of prayer requests or anything like that, leave them in the comments section. If you have anything to add to this that I've read, or any further discussion that you would like to have, then leave those in the comment section, and I will get back with you. I pray that y'all have a blessed day, and until next time, take it easy.